Hello, friends, family, foes. It's now October 1st, which means it's time for Trick-or-Treat-a-thon round 3. I sound like hell, I look like hell. I have been painfully sick this past week. First it was one round of food poisoning, then it was a bad cold that I got from my entire family that I'm slowly getting over, and then on Friday I made the mistake of eating pesto on pizza. Which, if y'all remember, I am not only lactose intolerant, but I always forget that my stomach does not agree with pesto. So, it's been a fun time. But it is now October 1st, it is 12:40. I'm currently making lunch for my boyfriend and I. I'm going to go through some things. I'm going to make a list to donate or throw away, because we're moving at the end of the month, and I still don't know what I'm planning on reading or starting my reads out with yet. I'm kind of in a weird reading slump. I finished She and Her Cat. I'll throw the thing up here because I forgot who the author is. It's a translated work, so I'm super excited about it. It's supposed to be like about cats and their female companions. The first story was about a cat falling in love, like romantically, with his owner and calling him his girlfriend throughout the entirety of the book and spanned the entire of the anthology, and it just was not the vibe. I gave it a 2. So now I'm in a bit of a rut. I really don't know what I'm going to pick up quite yet. I need to look at the prompts and see what I can fiddle with. So I'll update you guys when I get to that point. So enjoy some B-roll of me probably cleaning and adjusting the calendar to say things, and yeah. It's been a bit of a mess of a month. Or a bit of a mess of a week. So I'm just like, we're almost through this cold. My stomach is slowly regaining its gusto back after a bad round of sushi and then the pesto. It's just been a time. So I'm just going to turn on some Riverdale while I cook. Alrighty, it's Monday. Feeling loads better, but I didn't get any reading done during the weekend. But I did finally pick up the book that I was going to read first, and that's going to be The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This is a YA urban fantasy following Rose Hathaway, who is a Dampier, who is like a sworn... I'm pretty sure, yeah, she's called the Dampier, who is sworn to protect... Yes, a Dampier who's sworn to protect the vampire. She's not a vampire, but she is sworn to protect them. I believe she is a human, I want to say. The two of them, her and her best friend Lissa, have been on the run for about 2 years now, and they've been captured and thrown back into the academy where things are not as great as it seems. I'm only a few pages in, like 18 or so pages. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a very quick and easy read. So far, Rose's tone or her voice as a narrator doesn't bug me quite yet. She does scream as like overly like rebellious with like dropping so many like lots of insults and just like being very outspoken. Just in the first like 18 pages. I am thinking about making an amendment to my TBR. I do really want to read something that is by a Filipino author this year, and I just learned that Claribel A. Ortega is not. She's of Dominican heritage. So I'm thinking about switching my TBR over to, what is it? I just saw it, and I think it's Marikit in the Sea of Stars by Carisi something Avenado. Yeah, it's Marikit in the Ocean of Stars by Caris Avenado Cruz. Mix it up around. It's a middle grade that's coming out in a couple of weeks, and I would really like to read a Filipino author during Filipino American Heritage Month. So that is the goal. So I think I'll be switching out Witchlings with that for right now, and then we'll go from there. But I want to go and take a hot shower, loosen up more of the phlegm and mucus that is going on here. I'm sure you guys can kind of hear it in my voice. And then just probably relax. I'm going to CC a video, read some more, write. I need to work on my bullet journal. It's October 3rd, and she's not even started yet. I think I'm going to do a caution tape theme, so we'll work with that. But I'll talk to you guys when I'm more relaxed and can probably breathe a little better because I blew up my nose. Alright, it is now Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday for a second. Go me. Didn't get a chance to read last night. All I did basically was stare at Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok until like, what, 8-ish? Trying to find a bullet journal theme. Finally decided on one. But I did get a chance to read a bit during my lunch break. I'm now on like page 60-ish. Still enjoying it. It's still fun. I'm getting more into the lore of like the academy, the vampires, the scary things that go bump in the night. as well as learning a bit more about Rose and Lissa. Not sure how I feel about Rose anymore. I think it's just her voice. Like, I have to like constantly remind myself that this book was written back in like what? Let's see here. Around like 2007, 2000, like that early, and Rose is supposed to be like 16 or 18. I am 26. I am almost 10 years older than her, if not actually 10 years older than her. So I have to remind myself that like the reason why she talks that way and thinks this way is because she's still going through puberty. But so far I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I'll get a chance to read a ton today. Today's kind of some housekeeping things. I got to put laundry away, wash makeup brushes because I was using them this morning and I was like, they're kind of looking very grody and I am breaking out a little bit. And then after that it's going to be bullet journal and hopefully work on some subtitles for my vlogs and videos that I'm behind on before I get really behind on because I'm moving. So I'll update you guys and throw some like B-roll footage here of me like working on a bullet journal or something. But I'll keep you guys updated if I get a chance to read any more tonight, which I'm kind of hoping to because I left off like mid-chapter. And I'd like to like finish and hopefully get to like 100 before, hopefully soon. Like I would like to have this book finished by the time the week ends and go from there. Friends, it is now Wednesday and I think I'm about, that looks about halfway, right? A little under halfway. I think I have a couple more like chapters to get there before I get halfway. I am really enjoying the book. I think I'm gonna keep saying it, but it's fun. It's very quick and easy read, which is great for me considering I had such a hard time with the last book. With the last book that I read. As y'all know, it was intriguing. You'll see it in my September wrap-up that'll go out before this vlog. I do really enjoy Rose's character, but there are just moments that I'm deeply reminded that she's meant to be like 17 or like 16, 17, like about to graduate high school kind of situation. Because some of the things she says, I'm just like, what? Or other things I'm just like, no rational adult. And then I'm reeled back into the idea that she is not a rational adult. She is a 16 or 17-year-old tasked to protect like vampiric royalty. Big shoes to figure out. So on top of that, her mom is like guardian royalty and wants nothing to do with her. So it's just a lot of emotional turmoil wrapped up in a very confused pubescent body. Do not blame her, but there are definitely moments when I'm just like, I want to like turn the big sister charm on and just kind of smack her. But she's fictional, and I cannot do that. And I'm pretty sure by now, if we were going like timeline-wise when this was like sent out or whatever, or like, yeah, when this was like published, which like I'm assuming it was like 2007. Yeah, copyright 2007. She would technically be a lot older than me by now. Like if she was 16 in 2007, let's see, she would have been 26 in 2017 plus 18, 19, 21, 2. 5 years, so she would be 32 by now. The other thing I had was that, you know, I love vampires. I love as you all know, I love vampires. I love the concept of vampires. I love everyone's individual concept of vampires. Like, enjoyed reading Twilight's concept, enjoyed reading Nightworld's concept, enjoyed reading the vampire, like watching the Vampire Diaries, like concept of vampires. I just like the vampires and like the different lore that each author tends to bring to the table when they write about vampires. Now, riddle me this. In what world do vampires, whom should be the antithesis of everything religious, go to Sunday Mass? Like, I read it and I like sat there, because I've seen the movie multiple times. The movie's a very fun thing for me to watch. But I sat there watching the movie. I'm sat here now reading this book and having them talk about like mass and like saints, which like I understand the saints thing because like we see it a lot in like I'm not Russian. So I don't know like Russian like history very well with their religion. But we see it a lot in like Russian based novels, the concept of like saints and this very like religious background. So clearly it's important to people. So I get it, you know, Sancta Alina, you know, all that stuff. Very religious, like very clearly like influenced by a lot of Catholicism in the day. So I get it. But I get that they have like vampiric saints, but what I don't get is the concept of mass. Like I wish, like I don't know if they'll dive deeper into it as the books go on, but I wish there was some explanation now about saints and mass, because I'm just very confused like with the lore behind, like are there other vampires, other Moroi that are saints, and like how do you celebrate them, what saintly, like because you know like saints do shit, like they don't just exist in a vacuum that you title a saint. Like you pray to Saint Therese for things and she lets you know via flowers, you know. I only know this because the reason why I am named Therese was because my daddy prayed to Saint Therese. But you know, they have like their miracles. So what are there other vampires that had miracles? And if so, what are the miracles? And like what does that do for the overall like mythology of the vampires? So I'm very intrigued by this concept. Can y'all tell that I would have thrived as a theology student somewhere? Like, let's just put that out there. Like Therese in theology, it's a fun time for her. I love my theology. But blame it on the Catholicism. But that's just the one thing where I like sat there and was like, okay, so we have Saint Vladimir and his shadow-kissed aunt Anna. I'm assuming it's Anna because they're Russian. Who are the others? Like, because you can't just throw in, like, I mean, it's 2007. So it's very possible that this was just thrown in for the sake of being thrown in. But you can't just throw in concepts, like, as grand as that, that'll have as much weight as that in the overall scheme of things, and then just not bring it up again in the books. Because there's, like, 7 or 8 books, I think. But, you know, you can't just, like, throw it in and then not include it more in the series, especially because I am a huge, like, if you're gonna include like heavy theology in a novel, I need like details, like especially since it's like sainthood and saints are such like in a lot of like, you know, like them Catholics, saints are such a huge part. Like I only know this because I have had to study saints. Like my sister is named after an almost saint, and the only reason why it's an almost saint is because she's not canonized yet, because she hasn't performed. They're still trying to like confirm her like 3 miracles, holy number 3. So in this case, Saint Vladimir, the vampire, would have to have performed a type of miracle, and according to this book, that miracle was like bringing back the dead so far. But I'm just like, so what are the other saints? What do they do? What were their miracles? Will they be brought up? Or is this like a throwaway like a throwaway saint that we're only going to see like maybe once or twice mentioned in the series, and was only there to like prove some intrigue or some mystery? I need to know, because I'm about to dive deep into the series, and like my brain is just gonna hyperfixate on it because I'm a theology slut. But neither here nor there. I'm hoping to have this book finished probably by the end of the week. I'm gonna do some more reading as the days go on. So I'm hoping to have that done, and then hopefully I will start some other book. It is now Saturday. I read a bit last night. Didn't get a ton to finish the book like I had wanted because I was so tired. I filmed for like 4 hours last night. Why 4 hours? Probably, well, closer to 2 probably. I started like 6:30. My wrap up, which is up now, took about 40 minutes raw, like to film. Then the battery died in the middle of my second video had to recharge. So yeah, it took about like 2 hours to film. But I did read quite a bit last night after. I'm like almost done. I'll probably be finishing it right before I go off to a barbecue, which I need to change for because I dress for a lot like colder weather and it's a lot warmer outside. It's like 74. I have thoughts. Not gonna lie, it's hard to see Lissa with Christian, like that's her love interest, solely because there's so much like homosexual tension between Lissa and Rose. Like Rose has to be bi. Like I don't know. There's something about that tension there that's just like doesn't feel the straightest at all. The next one is the fact that, like, there's a plot line in here where people keep leaving dead animals for Lissa. And you kind of can piece together why. And that's because Lissa can, like, heal people, bring people back to life. She brought back a raven 2 years prior to the book series taking place. So it's very obvious that it's, like, not a prank, but they keep rubbing it off as a prank. They're like, oh, who keeps pranking her? Who keeps doing this? I'm like, listen, one time is a prank. Second time is, like, harassment. And third time is, like, a planned attack at that point. I don't know why you guys keep, like, writing this situation off, and I would like it to just, you know, not. Also, the tension between Rose and Dimitri is unparalleled. Like, you're gonna sit there and tell me that on her first day of, like, Guardian practice, my guy buys her a lip gloss. Because, one, Rose has been complaining the entire time that they've been training that she's gonna run out of lip gloss and she needs more. And two, because it would make her happy. That was his reasoning. She's like, why did you get it for me? He's like, I thought it would make you happy. I just protect him. Something's gonna happen in this series and I can feel it. I can feel it deep in my little bones that he's gonna get hurt, and I just want him protected because he seems like he's just like that grumpy man with a soft center. And I need him to be protected because I will lose my living shit if something happens to him down the series. Which I feel like something will, because he's literally the only love interest that Rose cares about. She doesn't have a love triangle so far. She doesn't have any other interest in anyone else but him. So I'm just like, oh no, this is not gonna end well. And to boot, some of the lines, like when they had their like little makeout session because they were under like the influence of the necklace, like the line, he took me to bed, I was like, whoo. That line like had me like pausing for like 5 minutes because I was like, oh, I love that line. That line was like a masterpiece. And then when, like, right now where I am in the book, they're trying to save Lissa from her evil uncle who's trying to use her powers so he could be young forever, but which will cost her like entire sanity and her mental health. And like Rose is trying to go in with them and Dimitri stops her and goes, no, Lissa and I both need you to be safe. I would fold so badly. Like, she folds. She's like, fine, I get it. But, like, I would have, like, Rochelle Mead, you wrote the love interest. Like, that he will top. He's topping some of my favorite love interests because some of his lines in just this first book alone. But I will update y'all and probably wrap up this vlog as soon as I finish the book, because I'm like not even like 100 pages left. So wish me luck. We love a man who points out the age gap, because Rose is 17, Dimitri is 24-ish, I believe. Right? 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. He's 24 and he goes, when you're in 10 years, it's not a big deal, but for now it's huge. You're a child. I'm an adult. He even says that, like, it's all, like, it's not that you just care about, like, clothes and dances and boys and school. It's that, like, it's still part of your world. Like, you're growing up and figuring it out. Like, you need to keep doing that. You need to keep being with boys your age. And I was like, oh, we love a man. We love a man who does the bare minimum. But we love a man. Because y'all for sure would know that, like, in other YA stories, she would for sure just be dating the 24-year-old regardless of, like, the age gap, the obvious, like, switch in world. Like, they would just be together because they, you know, they love each other. But no, he loves her. But he loves her enough to know that she needs to grow. And that he can't be anything more than, like, someone. He even suggests to her, like, to report him even though they were under a spell when it happened. And it's just... if I let myself love you, I won't throw myself in front of her. I'll throw myself in front of you. What do I do with this? Like, what do I do with this? I finished the book. It was so good. It was actually really enjoyable. Like, definitely a 5 out of 5. Definitely a 5 out of 5 stars. I had a fun time reading this book. Like, it's definitely like there are definite like bits and pieces in it like that are of its time, especially with like the slut shaming, the blood horror kind of like language. But I just had a fun time reading it. Rose was such a fun lens to look through everything, and like the world building was interesting, the magic system was intriguing, and like the mystery behind like Shadow Kiss and like her and Lissa's bond was fun to read. It's just a fun book, and I can't wait to pick up the second one and vlog that next month. But like 5 out of 5 stars. I need the second book because it was just like, this was a trip to read in such a good time. But that is it for the first vlog of Trick or Treat-a-thon. Yes, and I finished a book. So I think the next book I'll probably be picking up is Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake, but I'll start that off in the next vlog. Simply because I need to figure out if I want to continue on with that series. And hopefully it won't put me in a slump. I don't think it will, but who knows with my luck anymore. We'll see. But I'll catch you guys in my next video. If you guys want to see more of me like kind of reading the the Vampire Academy books with me, it is going to be a new series on my channel, so keep an eye out next month when I read the second book and tell you all my thoughts, which will be spoilery, as you guys have seen from my thoughts in this one. But Dimitri, I should have read this book when I was younger, because I would have like, Dimitri would have been like top tier, like kicked everyone off that like list of like favorite love interests for me, because he is just like, he's close to drop kicking them now in the first book. So we'll see. But bye.